It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. Dr. Oja is a OG, got that potion, the elixir, got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James McQuiggan. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for Jawjacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. This is episode 914-ish? 914-ish? Yeah, 914 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Over the next hour, you are going to get value from the show in the forms of going through the top cybersecurity stories of the day, and I'll be applying all the knowledge I have based on my experience in industry to mine value for you and give you, basically beneath the headlines. You're going to be asked in any job interview and as any practitioner needing to utilize threat intelligence, how do you stay current on the industry? Everyone does it their own way. The Daily Cyber Threat Brief is a vehicle to enable you to do it in a way that I would consider is fun, community-driven, and all about good times. So if you like good times, if you like threat intelligence, and you like getting your daily threat briefs, welcome to the party, pal. We're here to boogie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm putting down up in here? I do want to say good morning to lots of the regulars: Augusta Delgado, David P., James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Devin Grady, Alpha Sierra. I see folks like Carrie, Phil Stafford, James Udakudo. Great to see you all. Code Brew, hope the lake life was treating you well. Guys, we got a banger of a show for you. I want you to know whether you are actively in industry, moving around in the industry, or looking to break into the industry, you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? And believe me when I tell you, not only is the Daily Cyber Threat Brief a great answer, but feel free to steal, straight up lift some of the things that we're talking about here on the show, make them your own, bring them into the interview, crush that job, get it, then crush the work on the job, then get promoted, then leave for a bigger paycheck, rinse, repeat, get paid, and win at life. Coffee cup cheers, James McQuiggan. I got to drink with my left hand so the logo appears on stream. I'm not a big left-handed coffee cup guy. It is Tuesday, so as always on Tuesdays, I'm going to be breaking down a little bit of Tidbits Tuesday, sharing a little bit about myself. I've got some very special content today for you for Tidbits Tuesday. I'll give you a hint. It involves Mrs. Ozier, so anytime Mrs. Ozier's involved, it's definitely special. But we got a great show for you. Before we get into it, do allow me to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you every single day, alongside the mod team and so many just community members who drive the boat or drive the bus, if you will, to make this show happen. So let's pay them some homage, if you will. And when we get back, I'm going to tell you how this show solves all your CPE problems. Let's hear from ThreatLocker, and then we'll keep crushing. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Oh yeah, I do want to say a really quick shout out to Brenda, aka the Snack Panic. Congratulations, crushing that Sec Plus. Let's give her some love. Nailed it. Love it, love it, love it. Guys, I do want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, ThreatLocker and Barricade Cyber with their Fortify 365 solution. But did you know that Eric Taylor and the crew over there had a good experience with the webinar that they ran last week? So they're starting a series. This will be a 12-episode series every other week. And essentially, this is a Fortify 365 webinar series. So all the services that you could get from them on strengthening your Microsoft 365 environment, he's going to be walking you through it in an active webinar. So things you'll learn: can you verify your org's identity and DNS records for all services? You'll learn about setting release preferences for targeted release, enabling idle session timeouts. This will be a very practical, hands-on webinar. Now, if you're managing your own kind of, test M365 environment, get in there, turn the wrenches, toggle the buttons, all those things. I will say, if you're managing a corporate M365, I would take notes, but I would not actively follow along. That's why we have change control and configuration management. But this is going to be awesome. I'll drop a link in here if you'd like to learn. I got to tell you guys, honestly, I don't have the sound effect on the stream, but here, let me do this right now. So hot right now. This is like very, very hot right now. Hold on one second. And I think you'll agree. We have an emote, so squad members, if you do have the email, please drop it. Instructor-led practical webinars are so hot right now. We've got Anticast from Black Hills. We've got the Simply Cyber Academy Lunch and Learn series. And now Barricade Cyber is dropping the Fortify 365 webinar series. So if you like hands-on practical skills, everybody's always talking about getting practical skills. Literally, it is so hot right now to get free practical skills from instructor-led webinars. I love it. I love it. I love it. Again, I'll drop a link to this webinar right here. You giddy up on that. Octavius is in chat. Octavius hasn't been here in a while, but that's okay because Octavius obviously was studying for the GCIH. Passed it yesterday. Octavius, nailed it, buddy. Love it, love it, love it. Guys, did you know about Anticast? I'm sure you did. But seriously, later tomorrow, Anticast is hosting Jason Haddix with their Attacking AI. Guys, AI is so hot right... Hold on. I'm just going to get tons of value from this meme today. AI is so hot right now, and attacking AI is very sexy, right? If you can attack AI, you get, in the blogs, you get on the news. LinkedIn amplifies your posts, all those things. Come learn how to do it for free alongside one of the greats in our industry currently. He's a very modest dude, but he knows how smart he is, and he's super cool. Jason Haddix is going to be teaching Attacking AI. Don't miss this. Again, free webinar. Jesus Christ. Everything is awesome. It's like the Lego movie up in here with instructor-led webinars. Come at me, bro. All right, so we've got ThreatLocker, Barricade, Antisyphon, and, of course, Delete Me. Hold on 1 second. I got the Delete Me one here. Hold on, I got all this paperwork here. I got paperwork for days. Here we go. Delete Me. Did you know? Guys, did you know about Delete Me? Check this out. Whoop. Whoop. Guys, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. And as someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. Guys, I may look like I don't know how to comb my hair, but one thing I do know is about protecting my privacy online. There's no reason for these data broker websites to have all of our data and be selling it all over the place. It's frustrating. You can do something about it, but honestly, it's a super pain in the butt to do it yourself. That's why Delete Me is a service. They'll take care of it for you. You basically just tell them, I'll delete my stuff online, and they giddy up on it. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for you guys. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter my code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. Whew. All right, guys, we got a mouthful there. Now, I want you to know every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth half a CPE. So if you're Octavius managing your CPEs because he passed the GCIH, if you're Brenda managing CPEs because passing the SEC Plus, whatever your game is, we got CPEs for days, up to 120 a year, guys. Say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot, right above my head. If someone can do me a solid and just put the date and the CPEs, you could see on the scrolling ticker, it's about to say episode 914, half a CPE. The name of the show is July 8th, Top Cyber News. Just take a screenshot of all of that. You're literally here. I can't issue you CPEs in the traditional way of sending you a certificate because I don't make you register for this show. But I've checked the policies of the certification bodies a couple years ago, and this is an instructor-led webinar. Believe it or not, despite the fact that I look like a yard sale right now, I actually am qualified to lead this threat intelligence briefing. So, hooray! Let's go. So get your CPEs here. Tony Jack knows what's cracking. All right, guys, do me a favor. Get ready for some Tidbits Tuesday. I'm particularly excited. I love my wife, and she is part of the Tidbits Tuesday, so I'm particularly excited about Tidbits Tuesday. While the show gets up and running, don't sleep on this. Human Hacking 101 with Eddie Miro. Guys, Eddie Miro is a social engineer in our industry, and he's running a practical skills webinar at 1 o'clock today, Eastern time, on human hacking. If you'd like to pick up a social engineering skill, may I direct you to this free webinar hosted by Simply Cyber Academy. Shout out to the Academy. All right, guys, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome way. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. I'm Lauren Verno. Call of Duty game pulled from PC store after reported exploit. Call of Duty World War II was quietly removed from the Microsoft Store over the weekend after players reported their computers were being hijacked mid-game. According to Cyberscoop, the issue may stem from a remote code execution vulnerability tied to the game's peer-to-peer networking model. Some users reported their computers being shut down or their desktop images changed to pornographic content. As of this recording, EA Activision has not confirmed why the game was taken offline.
It's obvious why the game was taken offline. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, excuse me, Jesus. Shout out to PC games. Call of Duty. Call of Duty was a fun franchise back in the day for me. If you Some of you may have had your first experience with cybersecurity, you youngs, in, I want to say, 2014, Lizard Squad denial of service attack on PlayStation Network and Xbox Network. Hold on, Lizard Squad. Let me see, DDoS. Let me take you back. It was on Christmas Day. A lot of kids. Let's see. 2013. Okay, so 2013. Where were you, you youngs? Basically, Lizard Squad was a threat actor group that did denial of service attacks for money, and they took down PlayStation Network and Microsoft Live Network on Christmas Day. The attack lasted like 26 hours or something. It was massive. The reason I bring it up is because a lot of kids had their Christmas ruined because they got the new Call of Duty game and immediately couldn't play it. Lots of sad children that day. Xbox, basically, this game, Call of Duty, came out in 2017, and they just re-released it on June 30th. So just a few days ago, they re-released it. And here's the problem, okay? There's been hacking on Call of Duty for days, or, for years on and off and stuff like that. But this one right here, there is a peer-to-peer network element to it, which basically means my computer connects to your computer, not through a server, okay? And this is at the heart of what the problem is. Now, obviously, there is some technical exploitation going on. Just because we connect peer-to-peer like a LAN party does not mean that you instantly get to take over my machine. Clearly, there is some type of security vulnerability when that connection's established that allows the parties to do more than they should. Now, what is happening here? The individual is allowed to execute code on the victim's machine. Now, all they did was open a notepad and type something that is not it's not good. You don't want someone to execute code on your machine, but it's unknown if this is privileged or just regular user, right? A regular user can open notepad and type in it. So not good. Obviously, it's very concerning, especially if you just want to play a freaking video game. This only affects the PC version. Microsoft is in hot water right now, if you haven't been paying attention. Microsoft laid off a ton of employees and canceled some game developments, and people are pissed. I feel like 4chan users, Reddit users, and video game, PC game players, those are like three factions of people you really don't want to piss off because they can organize pretty quickly, and that's what's happening. In this instance, this is, to me, this is a fun, splashy, kind of sexy news story that doesn't affect me and you in day-to-day business operations. Now, if you've got some goober of a CEO who loves playing Microsoft video games instead of doing her job or something like that, then obviously this introduces some attack surface. But for the most part, this is attacking residential citizens, individual victims. I think from a academic perspective, the exploitation of a peer-to-peer network is interesting. And one worth noting. You can see this is definitely juvenile, right? They shut the computers down, issuing a shutdown command, or they changed the wallpaper to porn. Dude, I feel like here's a hot take for you. I feel like mature cybersecurity researchers, they'll hack something and then they'll put Doom on it, right? They'll play Doom on it. You'll see Doom on a touchscreen Samsung refrigerator at Home Depot, right? Or you'll see Doom on on an infotainment on a Volkswagen Beetle or something like that. Juvenile or immature people will stick porn, right? You'll see, whatever, RedTube, Hamster, whatever. One of these adult sites, you'll see that playing on a billboard on the highway or something like that. It's just two different demographics of hacker, right? So in this instance, it's obviously more juvenile, which would make sense since it's video games. Xbox basically made a quick decision. on just pulling this down. That's as easy as it is. What I will say is there is a great opportunity here for you as far as a practitioner goes. I just said this really doesn't make sense for you as a practitioner, but part of my value proposition to you is to go beneath the headlines. Let me tell you this right now. This is a great opportunity from a tabletop exercise perspective. Microsoft had a choice. Microsoft could try to, I guess, work with the game developer, who would be, I guess, I don't know. Call of Duty has like different developers. So like, let's just say it's Treyarch, for example. They could work with them to get this code patched. But the game was made in 2017. The developers probably aren't even thinking about this game anymore. This was just a cash grab for Microsoft. So they made the choice to just remove it, right? When we talk about risk, GRC Mafia, you can do 4 things to manage risk. You can accept it. In this case, just let people hack each other. Not really a good acceptable. You can transfer the risk, right? Basically, which is, usually it's cyber insurance. That doesn't really apply right here. Or in this instance, maybe you could like move the Call of Duty game from Microsoft Network to Steam and let Steam deal with it. That's transferring it. You can mitigate the risk down, right? Which means you could like patch it, or you could send out a notification warning people, or you could remediate it, right? And remediation in this instance is just straight up using a scalpel to cut this thing out, and just it doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, the problem has been resolved. Of course, now you have an availability issue. I don't think anyone's going to really get pissed about this. All right, let's go.
U.S. military gets cybersecurity boost. Congress has passed and President Trump has signed a sweeping tax and spending bill that includes hundreds of millions in cybersecurity funding, largely focused on military priorities. Key allocations include $250 million for U.S. Cyber Command's AI initiatives, $20 million for DARPA cybersecurity programs, and $1 million for Indo-Pacific Command's cyber offensive operations. Now, Democrats have criticized the package for excluding funding for CISA, arguing it overlooks key threats and weakens federal cybersecurity infrastructure. Now, on the opposite side of the aisle, Republicans argue national defense and military readiness are core drivers of the bill's cybersecurity spending.
All right, Elliot Matisse, this is a story that would probably fall under simply geopolitical. All right, so for all those, again, I'm being objective, right? Not a political show. For anyone who's like, oh, wow, like, the current administration is just gutting cyber capabilities, right? We saw Department of Homeland Security reprioritize their mission to de-emphasize what I would consider cyber objectives for prioritizing border and immigration control. This particular policy bill, I guess, which has been signed, ushers in hundreds of millions of dollars for military cyber. Now, here's what I think about this, okay? This is great from a national security perspective. This is classic. Catch me outside. Catch me outside with a beer and not a microphone in my face. And I have some thoughts around just political kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like this doesn't surprise me. Okay, it's a Republican administration right now. I guess to put it plainly, right? Like a Democrat administrations spend money on more social programs, and Republicans spend more money on military programs, right? I mean, that's not like, go back and look at any administration. That's kind of the thing. So seeing hundreds of millions for military cyber doesn't surprise me. Remember, though, all of the money that's going in there, that's great for the economy. That's great for U.S.-based citizens that work in cyber, because all those millions of dollars, dude, those hundreds of millions of dollars are not going to go into federal like civilian employee hands, right? It's going to go into purchasing product, purchasing training, purchasing services, just the way the U.S. federal government works. So for all of us that work in cyber, you should look at this and be like, oh man, about to get paid, right?
Straight cash, homie.
Now, from a policy perspective, CISA has been getting like less attention, and I do think CISA's mission is important, especially around threat intelligence, and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. But again, like unfortunately right now in the United States, political parties are not. They're very polarizing, and then Republican GOP passes something, Democrats critique it, right? I mean, that's like, if Democrats had passed something, GOP would critique it, right? It's pretty. This is pretty standard issue stuff at this point.
Bank employee helped hackers steal 100 million. Brazilian police arrested an IT employee accused of giving hackers inside access that led to over 540 million Brazilian reais, that's about roughly 100 million in US dollars, from the country's PIX banking system. The insider allegedly sold his credentials to hackers who used them to carry out a single-night fraud operation targeting financial institutions connected to CNN, a software vendor. The attack did not impact individual users, only banks using CNM's services. Police are still looking for at least 4 other suspects allegedly tied to the attack.
All right. So, ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hello. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Okay. Yeah. Insider threat online too. Yeah, I'll patch it through. Dude, this is insider threat all day, every day. And I get it. Like, it's cool to not want to like look at Elliot Matisse and give him like the long eye, because like you're like, hey, you know what? You've been here several years, and we really appreciate your contributions. But I got my good eye on you, Elliot Matisse. Here's the deal, guys. If you use, well, first of all, a bank insider exploited their access to help criminals steal money. All right. It's way easier to pay someone who works there to help you than it is to break in through the front door. Ask Chris. Go listen to Chris Rock. Mods, can you pull Chris Rock's Darknet Diaries episode, please? If you go listen to this Chris Rock episode, like, it's so much easier. Like, dude, if this Brazilian banker person, let's just say they make $40,000 a year, not bad, but not great. And then this banking group, they stole $100 million. Dude, if I gave you $1 million, 1% of my total haul, that would be like, what is that, like 25 years of salary for you? You're going to do it in a hot minute, especially if I can convince you that you're not going to get caught, right? So, you've got to be mindful. Thank you very much. You've got to be mindful of these threat actors and their motivations. It's not to say Elliot Matisse is a bad guy. And Elliot, thanks for being an example for me in this story. It's not that Elliot's a bad guy. Here's that Chris Rock episode right here on stream. Obviously, I'm not going to play it right now, but go listen to this one. Chris is actually a member of the Simply Cyber community. He's typically in chat right now. But if you listen to this, Chris explains how he breaks into businesses and stuff. And he's like, yeah, why would I? He's like, just pay someone, pay a maid to drop something off, pay an IT person, pay an Amazon driver. Like, just give them some money. Who cares? They'll take the money because they're not part of the overall, attack. They see insulation from it. All right. The final thing I'll say about this one, for you yourself at your organization, what I recommend you do, if I'm staring at Elliot all day, every day, that makes her a really uncomfortable business environment. If I introduce technical controls using privileged access management to make it so Elliot cannot access certain things, and if he does access things that's weird, or he accesses things he's supposed to access, but he does it in weird times or in weird ways, a technical control, a detection fires off, an alert fires off. This what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. This abstracts it from a human on human situation, right? If a technical control fires off, that is, hey, Elliot, like I assume positive intent, but dude, the detections went off. Can you explain to me why you're accessing the sensitive business applications at 2 a.m? Clearly, there must be a good explanation, Elliot. Can you just give it to us? That's how you detect insider threats. And you do it in a way that is not disruptive or toxic for your overall culture and vibes at your organization. Put it in the hands of technology and be the champion of the humans at your business, but in reality, the detections are there to alert you and tell you what's cracking. Also worth pointing out, okay, this is another wicked important one. And again, I swear to God, my driving mission with this particular podcast is to deliver value and insights that you will never get in a freaking textbook, okay? I want to go beyond the headlines. Here's another hot one for you, okay? When we hire people, okay, I hire Phil Stafford, I hire ZMF, Elliot Matisse, Legrat, okay? We do a background check. Think about it. Anytime you've ever worked anywhere that did a background check, when did they do the background check? They did it when you got hired. When was the next time they did a background check? The answer is they didn't. Now, don't push me on military and the United States Department of Defense and federal systems where they do, 7-year checks for secret clearances and 3-year, 5-year with poly for. I get that. The U.S. federal government does it right. But in reality, most people only do it once. Can I point out something? People are very dynamic. And let me explain that. Let's pretend, okay, and I'll choose me so this isn't so dark. This isn't so dark, okay? Imagine, if you will, I start a job and I'm like the squeakiest, cleanest person possible. You do a background check on me and I'm you think that like I'm the template because you're like, wow, this guy's awesome. Now let's pretend for a second that my imaginary child, not either of my two sons, but let's pretend I have a third child, a daughter. And let's say that next year she gets a very, very rare disease, right? She gets some type of bizarre disease that there is a treatment plan for, but it costs $30 million. Just again, I'm being hyperbolic to make my point. What do you think I'm going to do? Just watch my kid die or do something about it as best I can? Okay? Threat landscapes change. Threat motivations change. Situations are dynamic. Again, I'm not saying it's right that you would commit crime, but when you're pushed up against a wall, yeah, dude, thank you. Breaking Bad is a perfect example of that. Although Breaking Bad's not perfect because Walter White, I think, came to enjoy being a meth kingpin. But my point is, you shouldn't like suspect everyone of everything, but people change. Situations change, right? Let's say somebody goes through a wicked, messy divorce and they're living in a van down by the river, right? And maybe they want to change their situation and someone comes up to them and says, dude, we're going to steal $100 million from your bank. I'll give you $1 million. FDIC is going to reinsure. It doesn't matter. No one's going to get hurt. Just take the $1 million, install this USB drive and we're good. Okay? Be real about insider threats because it's real. All right, let's keep cooking.
BERT ransomware emerges. A new ransomware group called BERT, that's B-E-R-T, is actively targeting healthcare, tech, and event services companies across Asia, Europe, and the US, infecting both Windows and Linux systems. Discovered back in April, BERT uses a PowerShell script to disable security tools before deploying the ransomware, which drops a note reading, quote, "Hello from BERT." Researchers say the malware is still evolving and may reuse code from the defunct Revel gang, with possible links to Russian infrastructure.
All right, so for the sake of time, I'm not gonna go deeper on this. This is a ransomware threat actor, dude. They come out of the woodworks. There's new ones every day. This one's called Bert. It's like Bert and Ernie, I guess. And the reason they're called Bert is because they leave a note. Hello from Bert. Your network is hacked. Your files are encrypted. Welcome to a day that ends in Y. Ransomware threat actor, PowerShell. It does Windows and Linux, which is, again, I'm still new to like PowerShell running on Linux, but yeah. Anyways, whatever. Let's keep cooking.
Huge thanks to our episode sponsor, Vanta. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like right now? We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across 35 frameworks like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That's VANTA.com/headlines.
Let's go. Alrighty. Dude, it's so funny. Like, you guys know how I feel about Vanta, but, like, it's so funny to see you guys dunking on Vanta's ad. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much. We are at the mid-roll. I hope you're enjoying it. If today is your first episode, please drop a hashtag first-timer in chat. Hashtag first-timer in chat. We have a special sound effect, a special emote for all of our first-timers who are joining us today. So if today's your first time, or if you're a first-time commenter, your first time in live stream, whatever. If today's your first time on something, drop a hashtag first-timer so I can have an excuse for dropping the sound effect. Yes, Space Taco's secret daughter, LOL. All right. Everything's good. Okay, guys. Hey, shout out to the stream sponsors again. Delete Me, Antisyphon, Threat Locker, and Barricade Cyber. Definitely appreciate the support as we do the show every single day, rain or shine. Every single day of the week. Every day of the week has a special segment, friends. And Tuesdays is Tidbits Tuesday, where I share a little bit about myself. And like I teased earlier in the show, I wanted to share a little bit with you about my kind, intelligent, beautiful wife, Mrs. Ozier. Now, it was 4th of July. We did some traveling recently, visiting family and friends and loved ones. So I just wanted to share this one with you. I typically keep her identity a little bit more private, but she has authorized the release of these photos. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you, reintroduce you if you didn't know. This is me on the right, but this is my beautiful wife, Nadine. So this is us at 4th of July. And then for fun, I wanted to share something with you, because this is like more of a take the photo and put it on the mantle in a window frame. Let me show you. We also went to a Ben & Jerry's ice cream shop. You can see there, Nadine got herself a milkshake. I did not get an ice cream because I'm not really a big sweets guy, but her milkshake was looking pretty good, so I went to get some. And you can see here, as I go in for the milkshake, oh, denied. Very much an NBA Jams throwback of denied. So here we go. Smile. Let me get some. Not today, sir. So anyways, just all about good times. Thank you very much. Wanted to share that with you. So this is my wife. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, definitely a fan of all you guys. Let's go ahead and get the la-la-las going. Alpha Sierra, lead us off. We'll do this one more time because it's funny. Doot, doot. All right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's finish strong, everybody.
Oh my God.
Cyber criminals reach out to Airline. Following a data breach that we first reported last week, Australian airline Qantas now says a, quote, potential cyber criminal, end quote, has contacted the company regarding the incident that may have impacted up to 6 million customers. Now, the airline did not name the suspected hacker, but confirmed the breach stemmed from a compromise of a third-party customer servicing platform, exposing names, emails, phone numbers, dates of birth, and frequent flyer numbers, though no passport or credit information was taken. The airline says it will begin informing customers about exactly what personal data of theirs was compromised later this week.
All right. Right now, hacking transportation is so hot right now. And Qantas, Australia's airline, famously mentioned in the movie Rain Man by Dustin Hoffman for an airline that has not had an recorded accident. Again, drink, right, to take you back for the 90s. Yeah, so whatever. Like, here's the deal. Sorry, Qantas. This is a perfect example. There's two things to take away from this. Number one, Qantas did nothing wrong. They actually contracted a third-party service provider to provide customer service. That company suffered a data breach, and Qantas is the one paying the price for the reputational damage. So when you're doing your calculations for supply chain risk and, data governance, oh my God, Jerry, you GRC people are so boring. Why should we talk about data governance? Just get out of the way. Give us access to all the things. Oh my God, why are you in my way? Just, the IP address range so I can do my job. Move. Well, here is the I told you so moment. When you give all the data to them and don't do any of the research on how they're handling it or what their security posture is, and they suffer a data breach, well then, good luck putting the toothpaste back in the tube. Now, having said that, that's a hyperbolic straw man argument because Qantas may have done all the research and done all the things, and this third-party provider had dynamite security, but you can't eliminate all risk. You have to accept some risk. So maybe this threat actor got in there and did that. TLDR, all the Qantas passengers are the victims. Qantas itself is going to suffer a little reputational harm. They'll bounce back. Dude, at this point, getting breached by having a cyber attack is not even it doesn't even influence your stock value anymore. Is Qantas publicly traded? Let me look at this. I don't think it is it? Yeah, it is. Let's see. Dude, it used to be if you had a cyber attack, your value of your friggin' company went down. So you can see here, look at this. This is 6 months, okay? This is back in April, before they had a data breach, okay? Right, I'm assuming. Let's see when the data breach occurred. The incident was on June 30th. Or they contained the incident on June 30th, okay? So you could see here, months ago, their value of their stock was in the trash can, and then they built it up. Then they suffer a breach right here. And you could see they did suffer a little bit. It went from $30 a share, or it went from 35 down to 33. So like an 8% hit, and now they're right back up. So the window of financial impact for a business is it's like measured in days now. Okay? So, having said all that, yeah, Qantas probably wants to do the right thing, but from a straight cash homie perspective, why would a for-profit company that's focused on revenue and profits and minimizing expenses give a damn about this? Like, there was no impact. I mean, it's not good. And if you're like a reasonable business person, you don't want this. But if you're just AI and you're just thinking objectively and executing without like, I guess a heart, this doesn't move the needle.
Rise of the cheap breach. Identity-based cyber attacks have surged 156% since last year, now accounting for nearly 60% of confirmed threats. That's according to eSentire. Researchers point to phishing as a service tools like Tycoon 2FA and cheap info stealer malware as key drivers, making it easier than ever for cybercriminals to compromise employee credentials and launch BEC scams or ransomware attacks. Hackers exploit.
All right. So info stealing is so hot. Luma info stealer was like super hot for a hot second. Okay, here's the deal, guys. For the last, 8 years, identity has been the new perimeter. This is why zero trust architecture was like the buzzword of the year in 2019. Right? And in COVID, digital transformation, that all pushed everything in a hyper accelerated way towards securing identities. And now we have device identities, agentic identities, user identities, and the credentials around those identities, the authenticators, are super important to protect. Okay, and again, privileged access management is important, especially with cloud environments and hybrid where you can't control the perimeter and stuff like that. So threat actors have caught up and they're now going, ham, to use a Gen Z term, on using phishing platforms to steal this. Basically, the threat was always there, right? Here, let me use hand gestures for a visual depiction, right? Say this is the baseline. The threat was always there. As identities became more valuable, getting them became more important for threat actors. So the risk was always here. The likelihood of compromise was down here. So like in your little heat graph, the risk wasn't that high. Well, threat actors have figured out that, this is really valuable up here. And now they've introduced these phishing platforms, which reduces and lowers the barrier to entry for script kiddies and threat actors to be able to move at scale and steal. And now your threat is way up here, or your risk, excuse me. So these phishing platforms basically make it easier for more people to get it. And honestly, here's the thing. I want to point something out to you. There's a reason that SaaS applications are super popular and all over the place. A threat actor can create their own phishing platform. But why would they if they can just pay someone a monthly subscription fee to have access to an existing one and they can move at scale? So don't even think, I just said script kiddie. Don't even think that it's untalented, unsophisticated, less technical threat actors. This could be legit threat actors that are just like, dude, why would we develop it in-house when we can just pay $300 a month, $3,600 a year, and basically, outsource that capability, especially if we can make more than $3,600 off of one attack. I fish one person and make 10 grand. I've paid for my fishing platform expense for the year. This is basic economics. This is basic business. Okay? Same thing here. Qantas outsourced their customer service to some third party who got breached, and this is why the breach happened. Qantas has enough money to develop their own in-house customer service thing, but it's cheaper, faster, and less of a headache if they outsource it. It's literally no different than this. So because it's affordable, because it's effective, and because it's working, threat actors are going to use it, and it's resulting in greater compromises. TLDR here. Multi-factor authentication. I feel like it's been a minute since I've said it. Multi-factor authentication. Use passkeys. Put detections in place for, weird access. Use conditional access for like your M365 instances and cloud environments that can support conditional access. Use federated authentication where you can. So you can basically, choke point access and type things. Revoke credentials that are no longer necessary. Do reviews of your own personal access. I know some platforms are pretty good. Like Google will say, hey, we're seeing some weird logins from somewhere else. Click here to double check it. But Google's like a Fortune 5 company, so they have the resources to help their end users. Do not turn into 23andMe, where you get a massive data breach and then you just blame all your customers for having stupid passwords and no MFA.
Shelter Elite tool. Hackers have been using a leaked version insealer malware. Shelter customers saying, quote, we discovered that a company which had recently purchased Shelter Elite licenses had leaked their copy of the software, end quote. While researchers spotted the activity months ago, Shelter says it was never notified. An updated version has since been released.
All right. A couple of things really quick. Rex Cognito saying that ham is a Gen Y term at best and then called me a boomer. Jack Joyce got a super chat. What? Did we just become best friends? Yep. Thank you, Jack Joy. His talk, Imposter Syndrome and Strategic Pivots, a Career Change Chronicle, got chosen for the Blue Team Summit. Congratulations, Jack Joy. Super pumped for you. Congratulations. All right, so hackers abused Shelter Red Team tool. All right, guys, here's the deal. C2 frameworks, post-exploitation frameworks, AV bypasses. Dude, threat actors and security researchers are doing the same thing. It's just your intent. It's just your moral compass that does it. And when these tools get out, threat actors abuse them. Okay? So this shouldn't come as a surprise, right? Threat actors have been using Cobalt Strike for years. Okay? Let's look at this one. Shelter Elite is a commercial AV EDR evasion loader. So threat actors can purchase it if they set up a fake shell company. It deploys payloads within legitimate Windows binaries. So it either does some type of process hollowing or, uses a service to like launch something. It says stealthy, so I would think that this is process hollowing. If you're interested, that's kind of a fun, more advanced technique to execute shellcode or malware within the context of an existing process. So you can see, if you look at Process Explorer, it'll look like whatever, Microsoft Word, but it'll really be malware. It's got polymorphism. So this tool's got all the things, right? It does all the fun things. Anti-malware analysis, stack and module unhooking avoidance, decoy execution. Yeah, this is great. They're probably making a ton of money off of that. Threat actors want some. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. Not a surprise. All right. So Shelter released Elite version 11.1, which only is distributed to vetted customers. Now, this is how all of these security companies operate. They're supposed to release to vetted companies only. The problem is, what does that vetting look like? A well-funded threat actor can just stand up a fake company, and there you go. A well-funded threat actor can just pay the vendor to look the other way. Look at NSO Group or not NSO, NSO Group, right? They're the ones who make Pegasus. I think it's NSO Group. Spyware, hold on. Yeah, NSO Group, right? They're supposed to release it only to law enforcement, and they release it to anyone who's got straight cash, homie. Right, so not a big thing. All right, so Elastic, the company that is responsible for the SIM, right? The Elastic, there's a proper term for it. It's not ELK. ELK is not the correct term anymore. It's a different term. It's like Elastic Search something. But yeah, Elastic provided it. Shelter's investigating. I think this might be one of those ones where, this company was basically just cashing checks, and then they're like, oh, hey, plausible deniability, and then someone's like, dude, you're like literally helping crime, and they're like, oh, are we? All right, we'll take care of that. So watch out for that. Again, this is a classic example of, solid information security practices would help with this, right? You're not going to prevent directly from shelter attacks, but your EDR looking for, different types of kind of kill chain type stuff, living off the land, weird binaries, processes, executing child processes that look weird, stuff like that. Nabs with the super chat. What? Did we just become best friends? Yep. Asks, have I watched Mr. Robot on Netflix? Yeah, I watched season 1 and season 2 of Mr. Robot, and then I lost interest in it.
Thousands of fake Amazon domains detected. Deals and steals as hackers coincidentally kick off one of their favorite days, Amazon Prime Day. Researchers have detected over 1,000 lookalike domains mimicking Amazon or Amazon Prime in June alone, 87% of which were flagged as malicious or suspicious. Kicking off on July 8th, scammers are using fake login pages and phishing emails designed to steal credentials, with one recent campaign spoofing Amazon support to trick users into clicking fraudulent refund links. Your friendly reminder to shop wisely.
All right, so a couple things here. Number one, Amazon Prime Day here in the United States. I don't know if it's international or whatever, but it starts today, July 8th through 11th. I have been getting peppered with Prime Day emails and notices and all this other crap. I'm sure everybody else has as well. So threat act, dude, this is classic. And you know what? I hate to say hat tip to the threat actors, but hat tip to the threat actors, guys. Whenever there's something super hot, whether it's like FIFA World Cup in Atlanta or, in the United States, or it's an election in the United States, like whatever it is, Christmas, Black Friday, whatever it is, whenever there's like a rise in interest, threat actors will gravitate towards it like flies to fresh poop. You know what I mean? Like they just show up and they're floating around it. This is a perfect example. Now, what I would say is, first of all, shout out to CISO Series for choosing a very timely story. Prime Day is today. Lots of people shopping. I would recommend you take advantage of this as soon as possible and notify your friends, loved ones, co-workers, whatever, about this particular attack. Basically, threat actors are creating lookalike domains, so Amazon-prime-day.com. I just made that up, but it's probably a reasonable one. And they're going to send notifications like, hey, like we saw a weird purchase on your Amazon Prime, or hey, like basically using fear or incentive. Like, hey, you've been selected for like $50 Amazon gift card if you spend it on Prime Day. The thing is, everybody knows it's Prime Day, so it doesn't seem unreasonable to get an email like that. Right? Make sure that oh my God, I just realized something too. Like I don't know if this happened to you, but like literally yesterday or Sunday, like Amazon pushed, Amazon pushed for a passkey configuration on my Amazon account on Sunday. So I don't know if you guys got that as well, but like they were pushing security controls. If you get an email that says refund due, Amazon system error, right? So again, imagine that you bought some stuff on Amazon Prime, and then you get an email saying refund due, Amazon system error. You're going to think that that's normal because you just bought something on Prime. Threat actors know this. Make them aware, right? Make them aware. Not the threat actors. Make your end users, loved ones aware, okay? There's a lot of best practices here. Look at the domain. If you use a password vault, if it doesn't auto-populate your credentials, it's a fake website. Text messages, make them aware of that, right? Don't buy gift cards for threat actors. Multi-factor all your things. Anyways, this is a super important one. I will actually make... I got to figure out a time. I'm probably going to make a piece of content for this just to make it easier for people to share with their friends and loved ones. I got a call later today, but I might have some time at lunchtime to do this. This is important, okay? You do not want your friends, family, loved ones getting screwed, okay? Also, as a quick aside, if you are part of the PBCC alumni crew, there is an A-load of content creator stuff that is going to be on Prime Day sale. I actually checked it out last night because I was looking at all that stuff. So just as a bonus. All right, let's go. All right, don't go anywhere, everybody, because we are about to pivot to Jawjacking. Getting your answers for all your questions. If you have any questions, this is a 30-minute mentoring session where the goal is to answer as many questions from you, the audience, as possible. So if you drop questions, we'll give you answers. It's as simple as that. I do want to say shout out to all of you. I did not see any first-timers. I also noticed really quickly our population here on the stream is about 350 people. That's about 100 less than what we normally average. I think there's a lull in the summertime. People, basically it's summertime, right? So you're not taking your kids to school. Maybe car line's a little lower. Whatever it is, I definitely notice a dip in attendance. So I would just say, hey, if you get value from the show, tell a friend, bring a friend, and, let's build this community, right? Help people out. Reminder, I'll be at Black Hat DEF CON in the first week of August. We are hosting a Simply Cyber community meetup. We're partnering with Tyler Ramsby and the Hack Smarter community to make it even bigger. And that'll be at Zombies Brewing. I'll set up a registration page this week. Again, I'll add that to my list after I do the Amazon Prime Day thing. Guys, thanks so very much. I hope you had a great show. I appreciate it. I'm going to let you loose on Eric Taylor, our guest Jawjacking panelist for today. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m., but I want to remind everybody, okay? I want to remind everybody that at 1 p.m. today, the Lunch and Learn series at Simply Cyber Academy continues on, and Eddie Miro is hosting a live webinar. This is a live webinar. I would say this is not a threat. This is just reality. I'm very protective of Simply Cyber. I cannot get this YouTube channel deplatformed. That would be devastating for many reasons. So the last couple Lunch and Learns, I've had to delete immediately after the stream ends. So I can't promise you that there will be a replay. So this is definitely something, if you're interested in this, learning social engineering, okay? You'll learn phishing, pretexting, the psychology behind human hacking, how to develop your spidey senses. Come check this out, okay? But if it's teaching you how to do bad stuff, so you can protect from it, I will not be able to keep it on the channel. Sierra Montgomery saying that there was a first timer. So for whoever the first timer was, welcome to the party, pal. All right, everybody, enjoy the Jawjacking. I'll see you at 1 p.m. Eastern time for the Lunch and Learn series. I'm Jerry. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, wherever in the world you are, welcome back to Jawjacking. I am Eric Taylor. If you're new here, got some music going. Before, like Jerry said, before we kick off the, I'm about to. We do have the Simply Offensive in roughly 26 minutes. I'll throw the link down here. If I know Jerry well enough, once this stream ends, you'll get automatically pivoted over to that one. But I posted in there just in case that does not go well for you. As Jerry said, I'm here to answer your questions today, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, put a Q : into the chat. That way I can easily find them and answer your burning question. As Dr. Gerald Ozier does a 30,000 foot view, being a I guess a retired CISO, former CISO. He might still do some CISO consulting. Oh, I should check up on that. But I'm very much hands-on keyboard. He already posted the link, and thank you, Carrie. Yeah, he normally he dips out, but I do see him back there in the green room. For some reason, my wide monitor for those who don't know, I got a real wide, the curved monitor over here, and I just have a normal flat monitor over here. And for some reason, the resolution is just not working correctly, so I can't see everything like I normally do. How is the weather? It's actually pretty nice. We had to go to Atlanta over the weekend as soon as the tropical storm or depression or whatever it was over the weekend was coming into town. So when we got back, everything was as expected, right? Having, a newer constructed house, not much to worry about. But let's see. I used to be the old man yelling at the clouds and stuff like that, and like I knew what the weather was every day and stuff like that. But every once in a while, I'll check in on it. But yeah, it looks like here in South Carolina, in the Low Country, aka the Charleston area, the rest of this week we mid to high 90s. Fair amount of chance of rain. Probably from the heat and stuff like that, right? So yeah, Gary, I was getting a little spicy in the green room. Poner Joe, how you doing? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well, Poner Joe. Thank you so much for asking. Just glad to be here hanging out with you guys. Question: I signed up for one of your Barricade Cyber webinars 2 weeks ago, but I couldn't join because I don't have a Zoom account set up. Is that something I need to set up? Yes, you do need to have a Zoom account, and it helps prevent fraud and bots from coming into. Will it stop it? Absolutely not, but is a control mechanism for that. So yes, if you're signing up for Barricade Cyber's webinars, please ensure you have a Zoom account. Alpha Sierra, we used to be able to have that, but again, I started seeing bots flood in, and it was really weird because it's a brand new Zoom webinar account. We've done less than a handful of webinars, and I was already seeing bots coming in, and I'm like, this is freaking goofy, all right? So, but I mean, the bots are monitoring your social media, so we had to do that. We've been here close to 100 lately here, and I'm in Texas. Yeah, Texas is always hot, Carrie. Always, always hot. Let's see, to follow up on that, I had originally signed up with my work email, but I'll swap that to a personal email. Yeah, definitely. Definitely do that. And it's not like we sell the information at all, ladies and gentlemen. We use that information to let you know about upcoming webinars and to help prevent some bots. So, how often do you see physical social engineering as part of your cyber kill chain that you IR to? Physical, not much. Really not much at all, right? Because a lot of the threat actors want that level of anonymity. So when you're on the internet, you do have that certain level there, right? So, it kind of defeats the purpose of doing the physical. If you're a victim of a physical social engineering attack, then you got a whole new level of threat on you. I take it you're up there, Crow Brew. I would assume that you're up there in the Greenville, Spartanburg area, since you said the upstate. But yeah, we've got rain forecasted throughout the week, but again, most of them are saying PM thunderstorms, so I really think that that's because of the heat, so you get that evening thunderstorm. Question from Jackjoy: how deep of a scrub should you do on information and still be relatively networkable? So that depends, Jackjoy. I would say, as a business owner, I've toiled with this one myself, right? But keeping your home, your family, things of that nature private, like you've seen earlier with Dr. Gerald Ozier, right? He normally doesn't post. I'm not going to say her name. I almost messed up and did that, but Mrs. Simply Cyber, Mrs. Ozier, he got permission from her to post her image earlier and some of their antics, right? So you got to be careful about what you post. Like, even if I'm not sure how new you are, but like even when I travel, I say I'm in an undisclosed location because I'm not going to say where I am. And most of the time, I do not do live episodes when I'm traveling. I only post things like that after I'm back. So Jawjacking is a little differently because I feel like we are among friends and I can just be kind of vague and stuff like that. So such as photo, social. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you got to be marketable, right? And you got to be able to, have that presence, but just figure out where your line is. So, Steve, it seems like Jerry is against Vanta. Do you have any recommendations for GRC tools to stay organized with assessments and have everything else centralized? I don't know if Jerry is like die hard against Vanta, but I do know their ads make us all cringe a little bit. But Jerry will be. I've seen a couple of my colleagues mention something about some other tools. I will. I will find out what those are on next week. Jawjacking. I will make a note for that literally right now. Because I know that there was a couple of them that some people, both MSP and MSSP, were really, really raving about. So I will make a note for that. I won't post it on my social medias or the company just because I don't know about them and I'm not going to endorse something I don't know about, but I will bring it as a point of contention. I think there's even a GRC channel in the Discord, I'm pretty sure. So if you're in the GRC Discord channel, then stay tuned there, because as soon as I find out what that was, I will definitely post it there and I'll bring it up here, right? So, in what specific ways would you recommend GRC professionals become more technical? So GRC really is about the policy creation. To be more technical, you got to take that policy creation all the way through the process. You need to, say, okay, we are implementing least privilege, right? Just-in-time access. Whatever the control is that you're trying to create and or enforce inside of your organization, and sit with the technical team and learn how to do it. And while you may not actually do the work, it would be very vital in understanding how they are doing it. Was there any errors in your process that you need to update? And a lot of times you'll get true feedback from those individuals, like, dude, your GRC stuff is just complete whack, right? Troy, I think that name sounds familiar. That may have been one that they were talking about. That name sounds so familiar. Oh, because it's military. Yeah, okay. It's a military term. That's why it sounds familiar. Stands for Enterprise Mission Assurance Support Services. Trey, you mess with me. I'm like, man, because I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, God, that goes way, way back. That sounds so familiar. Why is it? Got me on that one. Bruce and Hack, Eric, I wanted to thank you for the ransomware update on Friday. For someone like me that doesn't have eyes on that underground, I'm so glad you said that, Bruce, because I didn't know how I felt about it, right? Because I am very unstructured when I do my talks and I go on camera and I do stuff. Like, I do so much better running off script. When I'm on script and I'm trying to follow a process, I completely screw it up. I don't know why. It's just the way my mind flows. I'm not sure if it's the ADHD in me or what, right? But I'm glad that you found value in that. There are a couple of things I do want to change before next month. But yeah, I'm really, really glad that you found value in it. Kaseya's GRC Compliance Manager is a good tool, and it's being updated on all the time. Okay. Good luck with that one. Just kind of going through the chat here. What did anybody smoke any meat up on 4th of July? Or did you go to a barbecue for 4th of July? What was your favorite food? Come on, what is going on? There we go. I think the resolution is completely jacked up because the icons are not flowing the way they're supposed to. Roswell UK, do you think a shorter ransomware report every 2 weeks would be more valuable than a longer one every month? That's a good thing to take back to the team. Uh-oh, FedEx is coming in hot in my private signal. Sharing some. I don't even know what the heck I am looking at. Sorry. FedEx shared some meat privately with me, and I'm just like, what in the world is that? Sorry, I got distracted. But that is a good thing to take back to the team. That may be valuable. So I'm not trying to, quote unquote, cram so much into one. Because I do feel like I rushed through the last one. Right? Luke, are you still like hungover or something, good sir? You think you ordered Chinese? Dude, that was like 4 days ago. Or you like me, dude, like you sleep and your brain just completely like reboots. Ribs and wings. Oh, yes. Oh, is that pulled pork FedEx? FedEx, you're going to share that in Discord. I know you can't share that in you can't share it in YouTube, but you'll have to share that in Discord. Because, good sir, that does not look like a pork shoulder. Is that a Boston butt? That might be a Boston butt. But that definitely looks like an interesting piece of meat. It looks like it's got a good bark on it, though. I will say that. I typically like mine a little bit dark, but yeah, go put that over in the Discord. Oh, you did do pork sliders. Very nice, very nice. I ordered barbecue and then got sleepy after all the meat eating. My oldest son, who we just found out we're having a third grandchild with, or from. Crazy, I'm freaking that old. That when he eats too much meat, he calls it the meat sweats. He's like, oh, I'm suffering from the meat sweats. That sleep in my brain dumps. Yeah, like you sleep and your brain just completely does a hard reboot. I'm actually going to be doing some brisket in 2 weeks. So be the first smoke out for me in a while. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Mrs. Barricade does not care for... She likes the leaner meat. She doesn't care for that too much. So typically what I do, like when you got a brisket, you got your point and your flat and you got that fat layer that's in there. So typically I will, when I'm carving out my brisket, I'll remove that fat layer in there and smoke it all. So all right, we are coming up to the bottom of the hour. Meat sweats are a real thing. I don't think I've ever suffered from meat sweats, but he swears by it. But we are coming up to the bottom of the hour. And we do have another show coming up. Ever been to a Brazilian bar? Yeah, I have. It's freaking amazing. I learned at a Brazilian barbecue about a smoked pineapple. And that's something that is something I need to try. Because there it was freaking amazing. Well, hello, Space Tacos. AKA Jerry's betrothed daughter, I guess is the proper term. I do, so me, yeah, I do like a good marbling in there. Like, I will eat New York strip, and I don't really care for ribeye because you have more fat than you do meat. Just me. But I do like a good marbled steak. And the brisket, that fat just renders down so much. So, like, most people, when they smoke their brisket, they'll just get it. They'll get it to the temp, but they won't put it in a warmer or let it just sit for hours. So, giving it time for that meat to finish rendering down, or waiting for that fat to finish rendering down and stuff like that. So who doesn't like a good marbling? My wife. She likes to lean. Smoked pineapple and brisket. Wonder what that would be like. Since I'm still in the planning stages, I guess I could do that. I could get the charcoal. So after the brisket is done, I could fire up the charcoal grill for like 130 to 140. Let it be there. And then smoke the pineapple. I think I got an idea. I bought some good ribeyes last night. Making me hungry this early isn't a good combo. No, Justin, it's not. Hey, Taiwan Gong. Do you brine your brisket? No, FedEx, I do not. Nor do... I'm not a huge briner. And I'm not a huge injection person, right? So I'll do dry rub on it, and then I will refrigerate it overnight. And just let it pull all that moisture out and let it get good and red. That would be not this. It's in about 2 or 3 weeks. Smoked potatoes are good. They are good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next show is coming up in about 60 seconds, so we will bow out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been great. Even though we didn't have any technical questions, we were able to sit around and chat a little bit, and I do appreciate it. It's good to have other discussions except for overly technical every once in a while, especially every once in a while in the especially picking up in I lost my train of thought, but anyway, it's good to have the candid conversations. With that, we will bow out. Again, stick around. It should pivot over. If not, the links have been dropped. Definitely go check over the other one for Philip Wild for the Simply Offensive. He is doing AI in red teaming and communication with leadership. It should be a very, very good talk, and it'll be good. So until next week, y'all stay curious, my friends.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.